In her first public performance since announcing she is pregnant with twins, Beyoncé donned a gold sequin gown and headpiece and a gold bikini. But far from simply making a fashion statement, Queen Bey was actually paying homage to an indigenous religious icon, Oshun, the Yoruba deity from West Africa for whom twins and motherhood are particularly crucial. Oshun, called Osun in the Yoruba language, is the goddess of beauty, prosperity, love, order, fertility, and motherhood, and is one of the most venerated deities of the religion. Existing since the beginning of time, she is often seen donning vibrant golden and yellow dresses and ornaments and is often compared to the Virgin Mary of the Christian faith, according to a Harvard divinity professor. In Nigeria, Oshun plays a very important role in the civil society and mythology as she was indirectly responsible for the creation of the Yoruba world, said Dr. Jacob Oldapona, professor of African religious traditions and chair of the Committee on African Studies at the Harvard Divinity School. From day one, Oshun not only showed her prominent position but also her strength in terms of her spiritual force. The similarities between Oshun and Beyoncé are hard to miss according to Dr. Oldapona and are crucial in establishing the importance of local tradition in the world. She is speaking to the world, she is speaking to America, said the Nigerian professor who is a part of the Yoruba people. Beyoncé is educating the masses on Oshun. She is seeing how indigenous spirituality can be a powerful tool for changing the world. Dr. Oldapona drew many comparisons between Oshun and Beyoncé's dress during the performance, her pregnancy announcement photo shoot and in Lemonade. While watching her performance, he made note of the musician's elaborate golden chained bikini that she wore with a yellow cape and accessorized with bracelets, necklaces, and a golden sunray crown. He said, "Those are Oshun's symbols. The golden and yellow theme. Oshun is the goddess of these pendants and bras. In her home you'll find a lot of these ornaments which we believe she possessed and are hidden in the river." And while the professor made a point to recognize the Hindu connections in Beyoncé's golden gown, he still acknowledged that they had very close ties to the goddess as well. Dr. Oldapona noted the star's background dancers were also wearing garbs associated with deities of Oshun. In Yoruba folklore and according to Dr. Oldapona, during the time of creation, the male deities would not consult Oshun, and in retaliation she used her spiritual power to make their changes ineffective, making their plans obsolete. In response, the gods went to the supreme god Olorun to address their problems, not mentioning that they ignored Oshun. When he heard of their transgression against her, he laughed and told them that they needed her in order to create the universe. She is one of those deities that the male deities that were dominant in the traditions respected, he said. They had no choice because she was in a situation to control them. As noted when Adele won Album of the Year for 25, Beyoncé has reached a pinnacle that not many artists can claim. In tears, Adele thanked the Academy for the award and poignantly talked about reclaiming a bit of herself after having difficulties with motherhood. Then she addressed Beyoncé, praising Lemonade as monumental, beautiful, and soul-bearing. "The reason I felt I had to say something was my album of the year is Lemonade," Adele said backstage later. "She is my icon of my whole life." Beyoncé has become significantly important not just to the African American community where she came from but the entire society itself, said Dr. Oldapona. She is in a position to send a strong message in both the political and non-political realm for them to hear. There is no better place to make this point than at such ceremonies like the Grammys, and one point is motherhood as an important value and an important space in the American society. Along with her calls for change, Beyoncé was celebrated when she announced she was pregnant with twins on February 1st. She would then release a photo shoot where she posed with daughter Blue Ivy and in water, channeling the goddess yet again. Movement of the Yoruba religious migration most prominently occurred due to the Atlantic slave trade. Local religions, like the Candomblé, Brazil, Santeria, Cuba and Puerto Rico, and the Umbanda, Argentina, can all trace their roots to the Yoruba, and the religion now has strong bubbles of support all over the world. Dr. Olwebindo spoke of another tradition of the Yoruba involving the twin deities Iji, Taiwo and Kendi. Although Taiwo was born first, Kendi is actually deemed as the senior of the two, sending the former to check and see if the world was ready for their birth. According to the professor, who is a Kendi twin himself, the child sent his sibling out, and once they heard them cry would also come out. The Yoruba people used this story to help them determine which twin would be in charge if ever they were born in a position of leadership. The cult of Oshun strongly values twins, which might further explain why Beyoncé was adamant on showing homage to the goddess following the news of her pregnancy. He said, "Twins have always been very important in the cult of Oshun because she is the one who gave children to mothers. By that principle she could have given one but she gave two." On the track Hold Up of the visual album Lemonade, Beyoncé wears a bright yellow flowing dress as she uses her bat hot sauce to destroy buildings, cars and other objects in a seemingly peaceful neighborhood. Dr. Olupona saw this as a clear channeling of the sometimes wrathful deity. He said, what she was doing in typical Oshun mythology is she was trying to destroy what she considered forces of evil. The vengeful nature of the goddess is often associated with a malevolent temper matched with a piercing smile, something the theologist noted when Beyoncé gives a sinister grin before laughing menacingly. He tells the story of an altercation between Oshun and the spirit of herbal medicines, Osun, to show the comparison. As Osun grinded leaves to create a medicine that would do harm to the goddess's mother clients, Oshun manages to prevent the wrongdoing by distracting the god, according to Dr. Olupona. After she succeeded, Oshun quickly threw the medicine into the garbage. Osun, a one-legged male deity, came back and saw what she did, but by then it was too late. The goddess let out a laugh and started making fun of Osun. "Oh, you think you are smart? I am not going to let you make this medicine," he said. That is exactly Oshun in action, and that is why she will laugh. But when she is laughing at her success story. She is laughing at her ability to destroy evil, to destroy negative energy and values in society. Beyoncé has been vocal in her calls for change and her want to rectify problems in both the US and abroad. And by using the story of Oshun, the professor believes that the star is in the right position to lead the conversation. Dr. Olupona said, "She is reminding us that there is still much to do in a society like this." She is also interested in the importance of local traditions. How local traditions have become global, and we need to pay attention because there is a lot we can gain from these traditions. These artists are the best. Most people who saw her at home saw her pregnancy and saw that there was nothing wrong in being a pregnant woman. Everybody is watching Beyoncé.